Pete the Cat and the Bad Banana. Pete the Cat is eating a banana. Pete loves bananas. They are sweet and tasty and easy to peel. Every morning, Pete puts a banana in his cereal. Sometimes Pete puts a banana on his peanut butter sandwich. But one day, Pete eats a bad banana. The banana is gross. The banana is mushy. The banana is yucky. Pete's tummy hurts. I will not eat bananas again, Pete tells his mom. Pete's mom tries to help. She bakes Pete's favorite, banana bread. Pete will not touch it. She makes Pete a banana cream pie. Pete will not eat it. She gets Pete a big banana split. No thanks, Pete says. Instead, Pete tries a lemon. It is yellow like a banana. Pete tastes it. Yuck, says Pete. The lemon is sour. Pete tries a pickle. It is long like a banana. Pete tastes it. Better, Pete says, but not as good as a banana. Pete tries an orange. It has to be peeled like a banana. The orange is sweet, but it is too juicy. It makes Pete's paws sticky. Pete tries fish, plums, rice, hot dogs, watermelon, and his mom's nut bread. Pete eats them all. He is not hungry for bananas anymore. Then comes the big race. What should Pete have for breakfast? A pickle? No, Pete doesn't eat pickles for breakfast. A hot dog? No, Pete just had a hot dog for dinner last night. A lemon? No, that's just silly. Pete wants a banana. They're yummy and healthy. Bananas are the best. Do you have another banana? Pete asks. Of course, says Greg the monkey. Pete peels the banana slowly. It is not brown. It is not mushy. Pete takes a teeny tiny bite. It is a yummy banana. It is the best banana ever. Thanks to Greg and his banana, Pete wins the race. Pete is bananas for bananas. The end. Pete the Cat and the Missing Cupcakes by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete and Gus were as busy as could be. They were getting ready for the cupcake party. It started at 3. They were making cupcakes for everyone. Pete and Gus counted them just for fun. They had 10 when they were done. Oh no, hang on! Some of the cupcakes were gone. They were sure there had been 10. Pete said, maybe we need to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They counted the cupcakes, lined up straight. Now there were only 8. It looked like someone had taken 2. But who? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. Just then, they found a clue. Gus said, look what I have found. Sprinkles on the ground. I bet it was a squirrel. She loves sprinkles. Squirrel said, it wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been at the spelling bee. Uh-oh, more cupcakes are missing. Come and see. This was too weird. 2 more cupcakes had disappeared. Now there were only 6. Someone must be playing tricks. But who? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just then, they found another clue. Pete said, I bet it was Alligator. He loves to eat. Alligator said, it wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been learning my ABCs. Uh-oh, more cupcakes are missing. Come and see. Now there were only 4. Someone had taken 2 more. But who? 1, 2, 3, 4. Pete and Gus did not know what to do, but just then they found another clue. I bet it was Turtle, said Pete. I know Turtle loves sweets. Turtle said, it wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been swimming in the sea. Uh-oh, more cupcakes are missing. Come and see. What on earth was going on? All the cupcakes were now gone. Pete and Gus did not know what to do. They started looking for another clue. They found Grumpy Toad with icing on his face. Pete and Gus have solved the case. I am so sorry. It was me. I could not stop with just one. I ate and ate till there were none. Everyone agreed. Grumpy Toad would have to miss the fun. He could not come after what he had done. Pete said, but wait, Grumpy Toad made a mistake. This is true. Let's give him a second chance. That's what friends do. Pete told Grumpy Toad they would give him another chance. He was so excited, he did a happy dance. The night of the party was so much fun. Grumpy Toad brought more than enough cupcakes for everyone. The end. Pete the Cat and the New Guy by Kimberly and James Dean. It was Sunday and Pete's friends had come to play. They were rocking to a new song when beep, 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 there was a noise coming from across the street. Wise Old Owl had a view from his tree. Pete said, hey, Owl, what do you see? Owl said, all I see are green shoes and a red hat, Pete answered. Sounds like my kind of cat. Pete could not imagine who this new guy could be. I really hope it's a new friend for me. On Monday, Pete wanted to say hi, but he was feeling kind of shy. So he just rode by and by and by and by. Until finally Pete got to meet the new guy. Pete said, I've never met anyone quite like you. You seem like a duck and like a beaver too. The new guy said to Pete, hi, my name is Gus. Glad to meet you. I'm a platypus. Pete said, you're not like me and I'm not like you, but I think being different is really very cool. On Tuesday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. They came to Squirrel, who was playing in a tree. Hi, Gus, said Squirrel. Climbing is easy. Try and see. Gus gave the tree a try, but the branch was way too high. I wish I could climb like you, but climbing is something I just can't do. Pete said, don't be sad, don't be blue. There's something everyone can do. By Wednesday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. They came to Pete's friend Grumpy Toad, who said, come play leapfrog with me. Jumping is easy. Try and see. Gus jumped and leaped, but he couldn't get over Toad or Pete. I wish I could jump like you, but jumping is something I just can't do. Pete said, don't be sad. Don't be blue. There is something everyone can do. On Thursday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. Soon they saw Octopus, who said, "Come juggle with me. Juggling is easy. Try and see." "I wish I could juggle like you, but juggling is something I just can't do." Pete said, "Don't be sad. Don't be blue. There's something everyone can do." On Friday, Pete and Gus took a walk down the street. Gus said, "I can't juggle or jump or climb a tree. It's no fun around here for me." On Saturday, Pete hoped Gus would come out to play. "I wish Gus wasn't sad. I wish Gus wasn't blue. I wish there was something we could do." Just then, Pete heard a groovy sound. It was coming from across the street. Gus was rocking to his own beat. Sweet. Pete said, "Check out Gus the platypus. He found something cool he can do with us." Tap, thump, thump. Tap, thump, tap, thump. He's not sad. He's not blue. Gus found something that everyone can do. The end. Pete the cat. Old MacDonald had a farm. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some chickens. E-I-E-I-O. With a cluck cluck here and a cluck cluck there. Here cluck, there cluck, everywhere cluck cluck. Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some dogs, E-I-E-I-O. With a woof woof here and a woof woof there, here a woof, there a woof, everywhere a woof woof. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some cows, E-I-E-I-O. With a moo moo here and a moo moo there, here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo moo. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some pigs, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some pigs, E-I-E-I-O. With an oink oink here and an oink oink there, here an oink, there an oink, everywhere an oink oink. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some horses, E-I-E-I-O. With a neigh-neigh here and a neigh-neigh there, here a neigh, there a neigh, everywhere a neigh-neigh. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some cats, E-I-E-I-O. With a meow meow here and a meow meow there, here a meow, there a meow, everywhere a meow meow. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some goats, E-I-E-I-O. With a ba-ba here and a ba-ba there, here a ba, there a ba, everywhere a ba-ba. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some ducks, E-I-E-I-O. With a quack quack here and a quack quack there, here a quack, there a quack, everywhere quack quack. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some turkeys, E-I-E-I-O. With a gobble gobble here and a gobble gobble there, here a gobble, there a gobble, everywhere a gobble gobble. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some roosters, E-I-E-I-O. With a cock-a-doodle here and a cock-a-doodle there, here a cock-a-doodle, there a cock-a-doodle, everywhere a cock-a-doodle. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some donkeys, E-I-E-I-O. With a hee-haw here and a hee-haw there, and here a hee-haw, there a hee-haw, everywhere a hee-haw. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some sheep, E-I-E-I-O. With a mama here and a mama there, here a ma, there a ma, everywhere a mama. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some frogs, E-I-E-I-O. With a ribbit here and a ribbit there, here a ribbit, there a ribbit, everywhere a ribbit, ribbit. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had some geese, E-I-E-I-O. With a honk honk here and a honk honk there, here a honk, there a honk, everywhere a honk honk. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. The end. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. On the farm. Pete the Cat and the Perfect Pizza Party. Pete the Cat loves pizza. Pete the Cat loves parties too. Pete had an idea of what he could do. He would have the perfect pizza party. You're invited to Pete's Pizza Party with fun, music, games. Bring your swimsuit. Pete's friends all arrived. It was time to build the perfect pizza together. That would make the pizza even better. Pete thought the perfect pizza would be pepperoni with extra cheese. It's a party, a pepperoni pizza party. But everyone did not agree. They're playing pin the tail on the unicorn. Callie said, pepperoni would be just fine, but I really love pretzels on mine. Pete and the gang were puzzled. Pretzels? Well, that's something new, but maybe pretzels could be groovy too. It's a party, a pepperoni pretzel pizza party. Squirrel said, pepperoni and pretzels would be just fine, but I really love pistachios on mine. Pete and the gang were puzzled. Pistachios? Well, that's something new, but maybe pistachios could be groovy too. It's a party, a pepperoni pretzel pistachio pizza party. Grumpy Toad said, pepperoni, pretzels, and pistachios would be just fine, but I really love pickles on mine. Pete and the gang were puzzled. Pickles? Well, that's something new, but maybe pickles could be groovy too. It's a party, a pepperoni, pretzel, pistachio, pickle, pizza party. Gus said, pepperoni, pretzels, pistachios, and pickles would be just fine, but I really love popcorn on mine. Pete and the gang were puzzled. Popcorn? Well, that's something new, but maybe popcorn could be groovy too. It's a party, a pepperoni, pretzel, pistachio, pickle, popcorn, pizza party. Alligator said, pepperoni, pretzels, pistachios, pickles, and popcorn would be just fine, but I really love papaya on mine. Now Pete and the gang were really puzzled. Papaya? Well, that's something new, but maybe papaya could be groovy too. It's a party, a pepperoni, pretzel, pistachio, pickle, popcorn, papaya pizza party. Pete and the gang piled the pepperoni, pretzels, pistachios, pickles, popcorn, and papaya on top. The pizza was so high they had to stop. Ding! The pizza was done. Trying something new might be fun. They all built up the courage to take a first bite. And the pepperoni, pretzel, pistachio, pickle, popcorn, papaya pizza was out of sight. Dynamite, just right. In the end, the perfect pizza is a pizza shared with friends. The end. It's a party, a pepperona. It's a party. Pete the cat and his 4 groovy buttons. Pete the cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 3! 4 minus 1 equals 3. 3 groovy. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 2! 3 minus 1 equals 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. Ice cream. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 1. 2 minus 1 equals 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 1 groovy button. My button, my 1 groovy button. Pop! Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 0. 1 minus 1 equals 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? His belly button! And he kept on singing his song. My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. Pete says it's all good. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness no. We keep on singing. Buttons come and buttons go. The end. Pete the cat and the bedtime blues. Pete and the gang had a great day. They'd been at the beach, surf and sun, and tons of fun. But when the sun went down, they didn't want the fun to end. Pete had an idea. Hey, how about a sleepover? More time for tons of fun. Groovy. Pete's place. Let's go. The party was far out, but they knew they couldn't stay up all night. The gang decided it was time to say goodnight. On went the pajamas and out went the lights. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Pete was just about to catch some Z's when clap, clap, clap. Who did that? Pete asked. It was me, said Grumpy Toad. I don't want to go to bed. I want to clap instead. Pete covered his head. This cool cat needs to go to bed. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Time to sleep. Pete tried again to catch some Z's when rat-a-tat-tat. Who did that? Pete asked. It was me, said Gus the platypus. I don't want to go to bed. I want to jam instead. Pete covered his head. This cool cat needs to go to bed. Time to sleep. Good night, Gus. Good night, Alligator. Good night, Toad. Good night, Pete. Pete closed his eyes to catch some Z's when he heard munch, munch, munch. Pete had a hunch. It was Alligator. He was always up for eating. What could Pete do? All the clapping, rat-a-tat-tatting, and munching was giving him the bedtime blues. Pete had a groovy idea. He got out his favorite bedtime story and started to read, first to himself and then to the gang. Pete noticed it was finally quiet. No more clapping, no more rat-a-tat-tatting, and no more munching. They all settled down. No one made a sound. Pete yawned and turned off the light. Good night, sleep tight. Time to catch some Z's. Tomorrow was another day for surfing sun and tons of fun. The end. Pete the cat's trip to the supermarket. Pete and Bob are hungry after a big day of fun at the park. Dad, can we have a snack? Bob asks. Dad checks the fridge. Dad checks the pantry. Dad checks the secret snack nook. We need to buy groceries, says Dad. Dad starts to make a list. We need milk and eggs and fish and chicken. I want raspberries, says Bob. I want apples, says Pete. Pete, Bob, and Dad make a long list and take it to the supermarket. Oh no! The wind blows the list out of Dad's hands. It's cool, says Pete. I remember the list. I do too, says Bob. First they stop in aisle 10. The sign says dairy. We need milk, says Pete. And cheese, says Bob. The stinky kind. Next they go to aisle 9. Yum, says Dad. I love bacon. Don't forget the chicken, says Pete. They almost pass aisle 8 when Pete remembers eggs. Regular or jumbo, asks Pete. Jumbo, says Dad. Groovy, says Pete. Bob can't pick between spaghetti and macaroni in aisle 7. How about bow ties? Asks Dad. Awesome, says Bob. Aisle 6 smells fruity. Remember the apples, says Pete. Remember the raspberries, says Bob. In aisle 5, Dad tastes the hot dog. Yummy. In aisle 4, Pete tastes a cupcake. Sweet. Dad lets Pete and Bob choose a treat in aisle 3. Pete picks crackers shaped like fish. Bob picks popcorn. Brr, it's cold in aisle 2. Dad put mango popsicles in the cart. Aisle 1 has sunflowers, tulips, and blue daisies. Pete and Bob pick tulips for Grandma. She'll love them, says Dad. I think we got everything except the fish, says Dad. But their car is packed with yummy treats. Next time. The end. Pete the kitty and the unicorn's missing colors. Pete sees his friend, Stevie the unicorn, at the playground. Stevie looks sad. Hi, Stevie, says Pete. What's wrong? The magic unicorn dance party is tonight, says Stevie, but I lost all the colors in my rainbow tail. I can help, says Pete. We can use my magic paintbrush. Where did you last see your colors? Pete asks. Stevie says, when I was playing in the park. The park is very big. Stevie looks worried. We'll never find my colors before the dance party, Stevie says. Which colors are you missing? Asks Pete. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple are gone, Stevie says. Look! Pete points his magic brush at a berry patch. Let's borrow some red. Pop! A magic red blaze appears in Stevie's tail. Wow, says Stevie. Now we know what to do, says Pete. Great, says Stevie. Do green next. Green is everywhere, says Pete. The grass is green. The trees are green. Pop! Stevie's tail gets a green blaze. Stevie prances. That butterfly is yellow, says Pete. Pop! Stevie's tail gets a yellow blaze. Hurry, Pete, says Stevie. 3 more colors to go. This flower is orange, says Pete. Pop! Stevie's tail gets an orange blaze. Keep going, Pete, Stevie says. The party starts soon. The lake is blue, Pete says. Pop! Stevie's tail gets a blue blaze. 1 more left, says Stevie. The clouds are purple, shouts Pete. Pop! Stevie's tail gets a purple blaze. Yay! Pete and Stevie cheer. Stevie jumps for joy. Pete found all the missing colors. I love my rainbow tail, says Stevie. Come with me to the party. Stevie and Pete dance at the Magic Unicorn Dance Party. Stevie's rainbow tail is a big hit. Thanks, Pete, says Stevie. It's cool to help friends, says Pete. The end. Pete the cat making new friends. Meet Secret Agent Meow, also known as Pete. Pete the cat. Gizmo, watch. What new case do we have today? When there is a mystery, Agent Meow is always on the case. A new case falls into Agent Meow's lap. I want to play, but no one wants to play with me. Squirrel is lonely. Maybe I can help. Don't worry, Squirrel. I'm on the case. What? Who are you? What case? I am Agent Meow. I will help you make new friends. Come into my office. You want to help me? That's awesome. But how? With my amazing gizmo watch, of course. What do you like to do? I like to roller skate. I like to tap dance. And I love to draw. Time to crack this case. I don't know anyone who roller skates. Agent Meow asked his gizmo watch for a clue, but Grumpy loves to skateboard. I don't know anyone who tap dances. Agent Meow asked his gizmo watch for another clue, but Callie loves ballet. I don't know anyone who draws. Agent Meow asked his gizmo watch for another clue, but Emma loves to paint. Meow, I've got it. Come with me. That's not roller skating. Right, but you and Grumpy both love to roll. That's not tapping. Right, but you and Callie both love to dance. That's not drawing. Right, but you and Emma both love to make art. Ready to make some new friends? I can try. Moments later. Do you want to swap? Cool. Neat. A little while later. Wow. Tap, tap, tap. Do you want to swap? Tap, tap, tap. Awesome. Bravo. A little while after that. Do you want to try? Let's try it together. Viola. Groovy. When you are lonely and don't know what to do, try to find someone who enjoys the same things as you. Thank you again, Agent Meow. New friends are easy to find if you know how to look for them. And so Secret Agent Meow solves another case. Case closed. The end. Pete the cat. Scuba cat. Pete the cat is excited. He is going scuba diving. Pete puts on a mask and fins. He has a tank full of air. He hopes to see lots of fish. If you're lucky, you might see a seahorse, says Captain Joe. A seahorse, says Pete. I can't wait. I never saw one before. Their ridges look like a horse's mane, says Captain Joe. Groovy, says Pete. Pete jumps into the water. Splash! Down, down, down he goes. Up, up, up go the bubbles. Pete looks for a seahorse. He sees a swordfish. Pete swims out of its way. Pete waves to a stingray. It has a long, skinny tail. That's not a seahorse, thinks Pete. Pete looks high and low for the seahorse. Then he feels a tickle. Pete sees a school of fish. They all look alike, except for one. It puffs up. It's a blowfish. It is not a seahorse. Where could one be? Pete looks in the rocks. What is that? It's an octopus. It has 8 legs. It is not a seahorse. Pete feels a tickle. What could it be? Pete turns. He sees a cave. Is there a seahorse inside? Pete sees a crab with claws. A seahorse does not have claws, Pete thinks. The cave is getting darker. Pete feels a tickle. Then he sees an eel. Pete swims past it. It is too long to be a seahorse. Oh no! It is too dark to see. How will Pete get out? Pete sees a jellyfish. It glows in the dark. Pete is almost out of the cave. He sees an angelfish. It is very colorful. Pete is out of the cave. So why is it so dark? Pete is in a shadow. He is in the shadow of a whale. Yikes! Pete wishes he could jump on a seahorse and ride away. Pete hops on a sea turtle instead. It takes him to the boat. I did not see a seahorse, thinks Pete. He feels a tickle on his tail. A seahorse, cries Pete. What a surprise! You were with me all along, says Pete. What a cool adventure. The end. Pete the Cat's not so groovy day. Pete wakes up. He swings his legs over the bed. Brr, the floor is cold. Pete looks down. Oh no! One of his slippers is missing. That is not groovy, Pete says. Pete is ready to get dressed. He puts on his pants. He puts on his socks. He looks for his coolest shirt. Oh no! His best shirt is dirty. Pete puts on his second best shirt. This shirt is cool too, he says. Pete's tummy rumbles. He is hungry. He hopes Mom made fish. Mom gives Pete a plate. It is eggs. Eggs are not groovy, Pete says. Pete's eggs are good, but they're not what he wanted. His morning is not off to a good start. Time for school, Mom says. Get your bag, Pete. You do not want to be late. Pete picks up his bag. Oh no! All his books fall out. Pete looks at the floor. It is a mess. Pete has a lot of books. Hurry up, Pete, Mom says. The bus is here. Pete picks up his books. He runs outside. But Pete is too late. The bus is gone. It left without him. Pete starts to walk. Walking is not cool, he says. Then Pete sees a bird. But that bird is cool. Pete gets to school. He sits down. Pete, you're late, his teacher says. It is time to draw. Now Pete is happy. He loves to draw. He loves to use lots of colors. Pete opens his bag. Oh no! His crayons are not there. They must be at home. Pete draws with a pen. He does not like his art. It has only one color. This art is not groovy, he says. In class, Pete plays his guitar. His song is groovy. Pete starts to feel better. Oh no! Pete's pick breaks. He cannot play anymore. I do not feel cool, Pete says. At recess, Pete sits under a tree. He wants to go home. Pete does not like this day. Callie sees Pete. She sits next to him. You look sad, Callie says. What is wrong? Pete tells Callie about his day. Nothing has gone my way. Today is not groovy, Pete says. Not groovy at all. Callie smiles. Some days are groovy, some are not. You'll be okay, Pete. You're the coolest cat I know. Pete looks up. He smiles. You are right, Callie. Today is not groovy, but I am groovy. I am cooler than any bad days. Way to go, Pete, Callie says. Now let's go play. Pete and Callie swing on the swings. They slide down the slide. They kick a ball back and forth. Pete smiles. He is happy. Today is groovy after all. The end. Pete the cat, 5 little ducks. 5 little ducks went out to play, with one cool cat leading the way. Pete the cat said, "Let's splash and swim." But only 4 little ducks jumped in. 4 little ducks went out to play, with one cool cat leading the way. Pete the cat said, "Let's jump and hop." But only 3 little ducks popped up. Three little ducks went out to play, with one cool cat leading the way. Pete the cat said, "Let's try the swings." But only 2 little ducks flapped their wings. 2 little ducks went out to play, with one cool cat leading the way. Pete the cat said, "Let's run inside." But only 1 little duck came by. One little duck was there to play with one cool cat this rainy day. Pete the cat said, "It's me and you." But that little duck left too. Sad Pete the cat went out to play, but all the ducks had gone away. Pete the cat said, "Hey, what was that?" And the 5 little ducks came running back. Quack, 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 quack. 5 little ducks all yelled, "Hooray!" They made Pete a treat that day. Pete the cat said, "Let's all have fun." And they played until the day was done. The end. Pete the cat, Rockin' Field Day. Pete the cat is excited. Today is the town's annual field day. Pete can't wait. Last year, his team came in 3rd place. He wants to win 1st place this year. Pete puts on a groovy shirt. He puts on a cool headband. Pete ties his red shoes. He is ready to go. Pete goes to the park. Callie, Grumpy Toad, and Gus are waiting for him. The 4 of them are a team. Pete sees his competition. If he wants a medal, he will have to beat Alligator, Squirrel, Turtle, and Marty. Wise Old Owl welcomes the teams. It is time for field day to start. First up is the baton relay. The teams take their places. Ready, set, groove. Pete runs to Callie. Callie grabs a baton and runs to Gus. Alligator runs to Marty. Marty passes his baton to Squirrel. Squirrel is very fast. She gives her baton to Turtle. Turtle crosses the finish line ahead of Grumpy Toad. Turtle wins! Pete is frustrated. He wants to win first prize, but his team was not fast enough. Pete will have to try harder. The three-legged race is next. Pete knows he can win this time. He and Gus are a team. Ready, set, groove. Pete and Gus start to run. Suddenly, they fall down. Gus tripped on his shoelace. Marty and Squirrel work together. They don't fall down. They cross the finish line. Pete starts to feel disappointed. He keeps losing. Next is the water balloon toss. Pete can't give up. He has to do better this time. Pete throws his balloon to Callie. She catches it and tosses it back. Down the line, a balloon breaks. The teams step back and throw again. More balloons fall and break. Soon, only 2 teams are left. Alligator throws his balloon. It hits Pete and pops. Pete is wet but happy. He and Callie win. Pete thinks about what games are left to play. If he wins everything, he can still get a medal. Right now, it is time for tug of war. Pete knows his team is strong. He's sure they can win. Marty's team pulls the rope. Pete's team pulls the rope harder. Alligator tumbles over the line. Pete's team wins. Next is the obstacle course. Pete lines up. He knows he can win. Ready, set, groove. Pete runs through the tires. He climbs up a wall. He belly crawls through a tunnel. Ahead of him, Pete sees the finish line. He runs as fast as he can. Pete crosses the line first. Now, Pete is happy. If he wins the last game, he will get first prize. The last game is carry the egg. Pete holds an egg on a spoon. He runs as fast as he can. Pete's egg wobbles and falls. Suddenly, he is covered in yolk. Pete joins his friends on the medal stand. Pete's team and Marty's team tied for first place. Pete is happy. He didn't get to win alone, but sharing with friends isn't so bad. Pete looks at his groovy medal. What a rockin' day. The end. Pete the cat and the surprise teacher. Pete is ready for school. Where's Mom? Pete asks. She has a surprise for you, says Pete's dad. Pete goes to school. His mom is there. What a surprise! Hi, class. I am Mrs. Cat, says Pete's mom. I am the substitute teacher. I will need your help today, says Pete's mom. What do we do first? Art, says Pete. Yeah, says the class. The class lines up. Pete's mom leads the line. Is this art? Asked Pete's mom. Jim. Boring. This is not art. This is gym. Stay and play, said the gym teacher. The class plays. Gym is fun with more kids, says Pete. Gym is over. Pete's mom takes the class to art. Music. La la la, This is not art. This is music. Stay and sing, says the music teacher. The class sings. We are louder with more kids, says Pete. Rumble. Pete is hungry. Time for lunch. This is not the lunchroom. This is the playground. Let's have a picnic, says Pete. Now it is time for art, says Pete's mom. Everyone cheers. Yeah. Pete leads the class. Is this art? Asks Pete's mom. It is. Lots of kids are making art. Oh no, says the art teacher. It is too late to join us. The day is almost over. The class goes to their classroom. I know, says Pete. Let's make art here, he says. Okay, says Pete's mom. Pete calls a huddle. Whisper, whisper. The class plans a surprise. Pete draws. Callie makes paper cats. Everyone helps. Surprise, says Pete. The class made art for Pete's mom. Thank you, Mrs. Cat, says the class. We had a great day with you. Sometimes a different day is an awesome day. The end.